Hi, authors. So today's topic is dealing with negative reviews. How do we respond to negative reviews? Should we respond to negative reviews? How should we take it? How should we feel about them? Does it mean that we're a bad author, et cetera, et cetera? The list goes on and on and on. So, as you can imagine, there's a number of different answers to this question depending on the author themselves, depending on the book, depending on the subject matter, and even in a lot of cases, depending on the person who's leaving the review. So, first things first, every single author is probably going to face at least one bad review at some point in their life. So, a bad 1 star, 2 star type review, you're probably going to face it at least one time in your life, probably way more than once. The good news is that just because you receive a 1 or 2 star review, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a bad author. It doesn't even necessarily mean that your book was badly written. Sometimes it does. So sometimes a 1 or 2 star review can be a reflection of an author's writing. Sometimes the readers actually giving constructive feedback, and a number of readers have said the same thing and seen the same thing with a book. And that kind of case where the majority of the reviews are 1 star or 2 stars, then that might be a time where a reader needs, or where an author needs to take a step back, look at the reviews, see what the commonalities in what readers are saying are, and then go back and maybe re-edit that book and republish it with a different cover, maybe even a different title, etc., just to give it another shot. On the flip side, if you have a book that has maybe a 4 or 5 star average, or even maybe a 3 to 4 star average, in that case, and you have a number of different reviews, in that case, you may not necessarily need to go back and revamp the book or go back and rewrite the book. It may be just that something that is controversial about the book, or something that readers just didn't necessarily appreciate. In that case, you kind of have two options. You can either take that book down, do the same thing that you would do with a book that has overwhelmingly low reviews. You can go and re-edit it, re-upload it, have a new title, new cover, all of that good stuff. Or what you can do is you can actually just try to do better with your next book. So you can take into account what readers said with this book and be like, all right, I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind, and then go and do better with your next book. But all around, it doesn't mean that you're a bad author. It doesn't mean that your book is necessarily a bad book. We all face negative reviews from time to time. Case in point, the Bible. That is a book that is considered to be one of the greatest pieces of literature of all time, inspired by God Himself. And I guarantee you, if you go look on Amazon.com right now and you type in the Bible and look at the different reviews, you'll see some 1 star reviews and some 2 star reviews. So, if what's considered to be the greatest piece of literature of all time, written by or inspired by God Himself, if that has 1 star reviews, then we're not going to be exempt. So just keep that in mind. Do your best with your books. If you find that the reviews are constructive and they're actually giving feedback that is helpful to you, use that. Use that in the future for your future books, but don't necessarily allow it to be a weight on your shoulders that causes you to never want to write again. So, hopefully that helped. If you would like to talk more about reviews, want to explore more of the nuances, feel free to comment below and we'll talk more. Talk to you soon.